Welcome back to the Home Print Studio. If the idea of carving lino or investing in proper plates has ever stopped you from trying printmaking, I want to show you a much gentler way in. Today we're going to make simple upcycled printing plates from everyday materials. So this is perfect for expressive marks, layering and experimentation without fear of getting it wrong. This is the final video in my Make Your Mark preparation series, so they're designed to help you gather materials and confidence, whether you're joining my free online event or just exploring printmaking at home. If you do want to join Make Your Mark, the 3-day online event that I'm running between the 27th of Feb and the 1st of March, then do register via the link below. That way you'll get the 3 days of prompts, videos and live streams to kickstart your mark making mojo this spring. Okay, let's raid the recycling bin, make a plate and see what happens. So first off, I just want to show you surfaces that you can use for monoprint, just making marks on. And these are these sort of cheap plastic chopping boards that you can get. And some of them are smoother than others. Some are quite rough and I've got a bit of a tooth to them. But they are really good for just rolling ink or paint out onto making marks and then taking a print. This is one of my favourites. It's a cheap cork placemat with a sort of shiny surface put on the top. I just love these. They're really solid and they're really forgiving, and you can make lovely marks on them as well. And then this is slightly more expensive but not too much. So it's a glass, I suppose it's a chopping board of sorts, and it's very smooth, nice large smooth surface to roll ink out onto. So those are things that you can find in your kitchen that will be great for mark making, monoprint, etc. But we've got some things here that are from the recycling bin as well. So we've got some Tetra Paks, some plastic packaging, some foil from a smoked salmon packet, and then I've got this carton here, a juice carton. I'm just going to basically pull it apart. Some are easier to pull apart than others. But what this gives you is a really great surface to scratch into and make intaglio or dry point plates. I really like to keep the little pouring hole in, or keep it as a hole, because it can often be really nice to add as a sun or moon for a landscape. So sometimes I just keep that in. We've got a really nice big surface there that we can cut down now and use. This one was plastic packaging for a roller actually, and I've already scratched into this and had a go with it. And then this one is the smoked salmon packaging, you know, the sort of foil covered bit that you get in the back of a smoked salmon packet. Now these are great for, I mean, you could just roll ink out onto them and wipe it off and use it as a monoprint surface. You can certainly do that. It's also really good to use as a dry point or intaglio plate. Now this is a dry point needle, which is basically just a sharp point that you can draw with. So you could use like a screw put into a cork. I've used sort of the edge of lino cutting tools before as well. You can use biro as well, and I will use that on one of the other plates. But what you can do to make lovely scratchy velvety lines is a sharp implement of some kind and just scratch into that shiny surface, scratch down to the sort of rougher surface below. And you can be really expressive, you can be really energetic. This isn't about making incredible drawings. It's about movement and energy and what you can do with line. So I'm making a little landscape here because I like to make landscapes, a little like a bit of a line of land there in the middle. One great thing about these sort of foil covered things like Tetra Pak or this piece here is that you can actually sort of use a craft knife to cut off the shiny bit, and if you pull that away, underneath you'll reveal a rough piece of card. Now that can be really nice because when you add ink to that, it will stick to it and you will get a nice black. So it's not about line, that aspect of it, it's more about getting a sort of textured black. So I'm going to just make a few marks in this Tetra Pak as well. So we can do the cross-hatching technique with this as well, just like you would if you're drawing with a pencil. So it's the more lines you scratch into these type of plates, the darker the colour you're going to get, or the tone you're going to get. So if I do 3-way cross hatching there, that should come out nice and dark. I'm really scratching into the surface here, just really pushing down as well to see if I can get quite a sort of thick velvety mark. And here I'm just using an old biro. So this will make a mark. It'll probably be a bit softer than the scratch marks, but you can see that it is embossing. It's kind of pressing down into that surface. So the ink should stick into it. So these are some business cards as well. Business cards, membership cards, these are some of my old business cards, but they're really thick actually. I didn't mean to get them that thick, but they are. And they also have a sort of satiny surface almost, and not quite as shiny as the ones I've just been working on, but shiny enough that I could scratch into it, and hopefully those lines are going to make a mark. And just feel them as you make them, because they should be sort of sticking up a little bit. You should be able to feel the burr of where you've cut. And again with this one, I'm just going to try peeling off some of that sort of satiny surface and see if the card down below, the rougher card down below, will print a darker colour. So I can feel that that's a lot rougher than the rest of it, so that should print. And I've got this old plastic membership card here, and you know, you can use this just like you would dry point acrylic that you can buy. It is literally the same stuff, and again you can scratch in and just feel with your finger when you scratch. Can you actually feel that sort of rough burr that you've displaced some plastic as you've scratched? If you can feel that, then it should print really well. If you can't, then maybe try again and really scratch in. This one again is a really, really shiny business card. Don't often get them that shiny, but I thought this one is. So again, I'm just trying by sort of cutting and then pulling out the shiny surface to reveal the rough card below. So I can mix and match these. I can put these, layer these one on top of the other, or I can just print them as they are. So I've got a few things here now. I've got some plastic, I've got some Tetra Pak with some marks on, and I'm just going to show you how I would print those dry point plates. So this is one that I've done previously. It's an old membership card that I scratched into just like that, and this is exactly how you would print any of the ones I've just made. The Tetra Pak, the salmon card, the business cards, exactly the same method. And basically I'm putting an oil-based ink, spreading it onto the card, and then I'm wiping off the excess. And what should happen is that the ink will stick into the scratches. It will stick into the cross-hatching, it will stick into where you've pulled any shiny surface off to reveal rough card. That's what the ink's going to do. So you wipe it on, you wipe it off. I'm going to use some damp paper here because that does tend to work a bit better for this technique. So I've just dampened that for about 10 minutes, or you could just spray water onto it depending on how thick your paper is. So I'm placing my little tiny plate on there. I am going to put some greaseproof paper over the back and really press into it with the edge of a wooden spoon. So this is not relief printing, this is intaglio printing, which means you've got to really push that paper into your scratches and into the ink, which the edge of a wooden spoon should do. And there we go, it has printed these lovely scratchy velvety lines. Well, I hope that's shown you what you can find in your recycling box that can lead to amazing art. If you'd like to join Make Your Mark, my free 3-day online event between the 27th of February and the 1st of March, then please do register via the link below, and that way you'll be sure to get your prompts, videos and your link to the live streams as well. The live streams are recorded, you will have the link to the recording afterwards as well. So it's just no pressure, fun way to kickstart your art making in 2026. I hope you can join me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.